Many an average cyclist buying their first bike can be forgiven for going for something with a well-known brand name. For example, Specialized comes to mind, and often they're getting much less spec than they could get than if they went to somewhere like Decathlon. And the RS520 Triban is really one example. Now, I did have a very expensive carbon giant with Di2 electric gears and all the business, but it was too much of a bike for me, to be honest. I didn't get enough out of it, so I sold it, and that's when I bought the Ribble electric bike. But I also wanted a good bike as a road bike as well. My other road bike was getting on in years, so I decided to upgrade, and the RS520 Triban was the one I chose, because I'm not at all interested in brands. It doesn't matter to me what the brand is, it's the componentry. So now I'm going to show you the RS520 and show you how they've managed to come in at an incredible price. And when I show you this bike, I want you to understand that I actually paid £740 for it. Let me show you how they managed to do it. The first thing you'll notice about the Triban RC520 is its good looks, and it certainly draws some admiring glances when out on the road. One thing that confuses people slightly is the Triban name. They're so used to seeing Decathlon as B-Twin that they don't recognise the Triban name. The RC520 has an aluminium frame, it's a high quality build, and the geometry is designed for long days in the saddle. It's a very relaxed ride, and it's been tested over long distances, including the Paris-Roubaix route. The published weight is 10.4 kilos, but as you can see, mine weighs in at just under 12. But bear in mind that includes saddle, pedals, tools, and in my case, mudguards. The big surprise for a bike under £1,000 is it comes complete with the Shimano 105 R7000 group set. Now we'll see where they've made some savings. Instead of the Shimano 105 cassette, they've used a micro shift 11 speed 1132 cassette. It's not as smooth as the 105, but it's not far off, and I certainly don't have any problems with it. Another piece of cost saving they've made is by fitting the Shimano RS510 crankset as opposed to the 105. In practice, I can't see a great deal of difference between the two. It works fine for me. My preference is for hydraulic disc brakes, but finding them in a bike under £1,000 is almost impossible. But here I did find them. They've achieved this by operating a hydraulic piston with a manual cable. This has given me all the effectiveness of a hydraulic disc brake. Another useful feature is that the brake caliper is inboard of the frame. This gives you much more choice when you're looking at mudguards and panniers. It's worth noting when we're talking about panniers that all the fittings are supplied for front and rear panniers. They do make the point that this bike is designed for day touring rather than for long holidays with heavily laden panniers. This was my setup when I did the 150-mile ride. I've now fitted my mudguards for winter. Very easy to fit, there's no brake caliper in the way, so the holes are all supplied. I swapped these standard SKS mudguards between my bikes, and the fittings are all pretty much the same. The standard bike comes with an aluminium seat post and a reasonable saddle, it has to be said. I've changed the saddle out for my favoured Celitalia Manflow. I've also changed the seat post to a carbon purely because I had one. The RS520 comes complete with carbon forks, which together with the Comfort Grip bar tape smooths out some of the vibrations and bumps. This bike also comes with tubeless ready wheels. Now that's not tubeless tyres. The tyres that come with it are a puncture resist tyre, but to go tubeless you would have to buy a conversion kit plus tubeless tyres, but the wheels are tubeless ready. You may have noticed that I've changed the tyres out for gator skins, but that's just my preference. So I hope you can see that if you're not hung up on sexy brands and you want a lot of bike for your money, it's certainly worth looking at the Triban RS520. As always, thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, I'd be grateful if you'd click the like and subscribe. I've got plenty more content coming up, so if you hit the bell button, you'll be informed when something new appears. Thanks again, and until next time, goodbye.